The Tower of Babel, the Forbidden Kingdom of Nimrod, Gilgamesh, Part 3. Before the dust of the flood had settled into the creases of the New World, before nations had fixed their borders, before languages divided the tribes of men, humanity gathered around one man with one ambition: to climb into heaven itself. This is the story of the Tower of Babel, not as a children's tale of bricks and language, but as the first empire-wide rebellion after the flood, driven by forbidden knowledge, supernatural arrogance, and a technology far too advanced for its time. And at the center stands one name: Nimrod, known to the ancient world as Gilgamesh, the king who refused to bow. 1. Shinar, the plain where rebellion was born. The book of Genesis says humanity migrated eastward and settled in a wide, fertile land called Shinar. Archaeology identifies Shinar with the region of southern Mesopotamia, the birthplace of the earliest cities, ziggurats, writing systems, and centralized power. Here, the ground is flat as an ocean. Here, clay is abundant, stone is scarce, and ambition is limitless. Here, one ruler could shape tens of thousands into a single machine of human labor. Sumerian texts call this land the heart of the world's first dynasties: Eridu, Uruk, Lagash, and later Babylon. And at the center of this rising order stood a king the Bible describes with a chilling phrase: he began to be a mighty one in the earth. A mighty hunter before the Lord. The beginning of his kingdom was Babel. This is not the language of a local tribal leader. This is the language of an empire builder, a man with unusual power in a world still recovering from the flood. 2. The first great technology boom after the flood. Genesis 11 gives a small detail that most readers miss. Come, let us make bricks and burn them thoroughly. Archaeology confirms something surprising. The people of early Mesopotamia invented kiln-fired bricks and bitumen mortar suddenly and rapidly. A technological leap that allowed structures taller and stronger than anything before the flood. Bitumen, a tar-like substance, was used for waterproofing boats, sealing foundations, gluing massive stone blocks, creating heat-resistant layers for high-temperature furnaces, binding entire city walls together. It was the concrete of the ancient world. This was no primitive worksite. This was a civilization with organized labor, advanced mathematics, standardized brick measurements, centralized governance, religious engineering. The tower was not simply tall. It was built with a level of sophistication that shocked early archaeologists. Sumerian vocabulary tablets from this era include words for surveying lines, leveling tools, architectural teams, specialized craftsmen. The Tower of Babel was not the work of nomadic tribes. It was a monumental project of a rapidly advancing society, the first post-flood technological explosion. And behind it stood a man who believed no boundary applied to him. 3. The forbidden goal. Let us make a name for ourselves. The motive behind the tower is recorded in one sentence: let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered across the earth. In ancient languages, make a name means become immortal, claim divine status, establish a godlike legacy. Nimrod's goal was not merely architectural. He wanted to unite humanity under his rule, to forge the first global empire, and to ascend, a word used in Sumerian inscriptions for kings seeking divine status. The ziggurat was a staircase to heaven, not metaphorically but spiritually. a place where gods descended and ascended, a portal space between human and divine realms. Sumerian temples were literally called Ekur, mountain house of the gods. To build a tower whose top reaches unto heaven was to create a meeting point with divine beings, a channel of forbidden knowledge, a gateway to power not meant for mankind. This was not just another construction project. This was a declaration of war. 4. The first one-world government. The Bible describes a time when the whole earth had one language, the whole earth had one speech. Humanity acted as one people, with one purpose. This is the first attempt at a global kingdom, the political, military, and religious unification of the world under one ruler. Ancient traditions describe Nimrod as the inventor of organized warfare, the establisher of taxation and forced labor, the controller of trade routes, a tyrant who centralized power like no king before him. He was, in modern terms, the first dictator in human history. His empire stretched from Uruk, Akkad, Babel, Nineveh, Calneh, Ashur. This was a network of cities built in the same style, with the same engineering and the same religious ideology. The Tower of Babel was the crown jewel of this empire, the physical symbol of humanity's collective rebellion.
5. The God of heaven comes down. The Bible contains a powerful phrase, "And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower." This is not poetic language. It marks a supernatural intervention. Jewish tradition says, angelic watchers inspected the project. The tower had spiritual technology at its peak. The rebellion was not merely political, but cosmic. Ancient Near Eastern texts claim the tower was meant to summon divine beings. Kings sought revelation from forbidden entities. Rituals were performed to manipulate heaven. Whether mythic exaggeration or preserved memory, the point remains. The tower was a spiritual weapon, a human attempt to storm heaven's gates. God's response was decisive. Confusion, dispersion, disinheritance. The nations were scattered, their languages divided, their unity shattered. The project died overnight. 6. When God divided the nations. Deuteronomy 32 preserves a detail often forgotten. When the Most High divided the nations, He fixed their boundaries according to the number of the sons of God. At Babel, humanity was divided. Territory was assigned. Spiritual rulership was distributed. This was the moment when the world broke into 70 nations, each with its own language, culture, and spiritual oversight. From this scattering came the Sumerians, the Akkadians, the Egyptians, the Hittites, the Greeks, the Canaanite tribes, the early Indo-European families. The tower's failure reshaped the entire human story. And yet, even scattered, humans carried something else with them: the giant traditions. Across the world after Babel, we suddenly find tales of semi-divine kings, monstrous warriors, giant clans in Canaan, Anatolia, India, and the Aegean, memories of hybrid bloodlines, mythologies echoing Genesis 6. The rise of giants came after Babel, another wave of ancient corruption. This prepares the ground for part 4. 7. The legacy of the tower. Babylon will rise again. From Genesis to Revelation, Babylon symbolizes rebellion, sorcery, forbidden knowledge, spiritual deception, human pride, the kingdom opposed to God. The Tower of Babel was the prototype of every future empire that exalts itself against heaven. Its spirit builds systems without God, unifies nations in rebellion, seeks forbidden power, tries to replace the divine with the human. Archaeology reveals the foundations. Scripture reveals the meaning. Prophecy reveals the future. The world has seen Babel before. It will see it again. Next time, we continue the saga. Next time, we step into the aftermath, a world shattered into nations, scattered across continents, carrying memories of giants and gods into their new lands. We enter the forgotten age of the Anakim, the Rephaim, the Emim, the Nephilim, echoes across early civilization. Part 4, After Babel, the scattered nations and the rise of giants once again, is coming soon. If you missed Part 2, the archaeology and forgotten history behind Nimrod and Gilgamesh, check it out first. It lays the foundation for understanding the lives of Nimrod and Gilgamesh, the post-flood civilizations, and the events leading to the Tower of Babel. And as always, if this episode opened your eyes to ancient mysteries, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep biblical revelations.